welcome back to the Fermented World channel. Feels like it's been a very, very long time, and it actually has. I've been waiting for this rhubarb mead to clear out, and as you might be able to see, it hasn't really cleared properly. But I'm not too bothered about that, and honestly, I think it is at where it's at. I don't think it's going to clear any more than that. I'm not quite sure what a commercial brewery would put in to remove that haze. I believe I put some pectin, pectolase in here. Pectolase? Maybe I didn't. So that might be something. That could be pectin. Although pectin's more in fruits than anything else. I'm gonna have to Google that. Does rhubarb have pectin in? And could I have counteracted that by using the pectin? But anyway, we're here now. I've got all my stuff sterilised. We're gonna take a hydrometer reading, have a little taste, and then we're gonna bottle because it's not clearing anymore. The last time this was done was the 13th of September. It's now the 27th. It should have cleared. Perfectly clear by now, and it's not. So yeah, that's where we're at. Keep my little book of knowledge over here with all my notes in it, and yes, let us remove the bung of bonginess. I can go down there. Hydrometer reading, which tells us A, whether it's carried on fermenting, which it shouldn't have done because it's got stoppers in. Now it could have done because I had the back sweetening honey and the stoppers at the same time just to save time. One less thing to do. Never had an issue, like I said on the previous video, and we're looking for it to be around 26, which is what it was at beforehand. 22, 4, 5. So it's lost one. One fermentable point has gone. And when it's in a thinner thing, it does actually look clear. Oh, it smells lovely. You know when your mum's stewing rhubarb ready for a crumble or something? That is what that smells like. To say it's my own recipe, my own amounts of stuff that I put in, I'm pretty damn happy with that. So now we're going to rack this off, because I always rack. I always rack them off before, so that you're just not worrying about that sediment as you're bottling. It's got a lovely colour though. It has. So we rack first, then we bottle. So that can go in there, otherwise I'm going to be tempted to drink it. And it is only a Tuesday, so it is not an alcohol day. Alcohol days are at the weekend, where we make up for it. Okay. So here we go. I'll speed this bit up because it is a bit boring. And once you've seen one, you've seen them all. Unless obviously something goes horribly wrong, which then you'll miss. So whilst racking that off, we did lose a bit more than normal, to be fair. Now I think that is because of this like haziness settling out. It was extremely wispy. Before it even got down to the bottom there, it was already starting to pick it back up. So we had to ditch a little bit of it. Well, we've got plenty. We've got 4 litres. Take that out, is it 4 litres? Just under 4 litres. Plenty enough. The rhubarb was free because it was from my mum's garden. I used about 2.5 bottles of honey. So you're looking, go away fly, I will assassinate you. So you're looking, with today's prices, because everything's gone up now, £8.40, £12.60, which obviously £2 for yeast, so okay, £14.60 for 4 litres. You could spend £15 on 1 bottle of 75 centilitre mead, which isn't even a flavour that you chose. So brew your bloody own. Right, instead of me telling you what to do, we're going to set up this bottling wand. That is what we are going to do. Everything's sterilised, it's all been cleaned, left in this solution for 10 minutes. Bottles scrubbed out with soapy water. People say don't use soap, but I do. Cleaned out with soapy water and then sterilised. And left for 10 minutes. So what I'm doing now is, you might not have seen me do this before, but I'm priming the bottle wand so that there's liquid going through it already. What this allows you to do is, if you're doing this part on your own, it can be pretty difficult because you kind of need 2 hands to be able to use a bottle wand properly. But sorry, you need 2 pairs of hands. I think that's what I said, I'm not sure. But what we're going to do is we're going to go get some bottles and proceed to bottle. So now we start bottling. Get the bottle wand, drop it in. Now for the first one, what I like to do is bring it down so that it can draw a good amount and get rid of any air that's in there, and it just makes the fill a bit easier. And then you're golden. You can just keep going and going now. It said 4 litres on the picture there. I've got 3 litre bottles. I've got a 75 centilitre bottle which I've reused because that was a bottle of mead that I bought. And I've got some reused beer bottles which I do as tasters, or just smaller bottles, just because you don't need a massive amount of headspace if you've only got a small amount of beverage. Now I hope it does clear out, but if it does clear out, I hope it retains its flavour. Because if it loses its flavour and clears out, I've kind of lost, haven't I? I've gained clarity, but I've lost what you actually want from it. So that's one, and I'm going to speed these other 3 up, because if you've seen one, you've seen 3. Okay, so we've got that bottled. We're going to close that off nice and firm. Don't be worried about doing it too tight if you're reusing bottles. It needs to be tight. Now, comes to the end of the video. I want to talk to you about yeast nutrients. Now, it has come to light that if you use yeast nutrients, sorry, I'm just going to wipe the label off this while I talk. If you use yeast nutrients in your brew, you could probably, or you could be drinking your mead within a month. Now, I have realised where I got my wires crossed. I've used two lots of information from two very different brewers. So I was using information from people who didn't use nutrients and other stuff like that, and just did a pure natural fermentation. Shortly after, I'd started learning how to do mead, so I'd kind of taken that on board as if, same as a wine, that was just something that you did. Pageantly not. So me and my friend opened a bottle of the Viking's Blood 2.0, and let me tell you now, it tasted just as good as it did when I bottled it, like 3 months ago. 3 months? Maybe 3 months ago. So yeah, we've got 3 litre bottles, 175 bottle, and the smaller bottles didn't get done. There's about 200 ml in there, which I'm going to drink because I'm certainly not wasting it, and it's gorgeous, so why would you? And yeah, we'll be back for the next video. Sorry if you've been waiting for these rhubarb videos. One of them got lost in translation, which is now up now if you wanted to go watch that. Probably watch that before you watch this. But yeah, that is quite a large drinky poo. I'm gonna have to leave that till later. I'm gonna put some cling film over it and I'm gonna drink it later. Because it's only a Tuesday and I've got no way of storing it. Oh, I could probably take half of it and put it in a little jar for my mate. When in that, get a clean one out. Need a tiny little sample pot I bought just to pass to people when whenever the brew's ready. Need to rinse out because it's fresh from the factory. And we'll fill in one up. All these little pots of happiness. It does look actually quite clear when you put it into something not as big as a demijohn. Even in one of them, it does look better than it did, but it's still not 100% clear. But hey, that's life. Okay, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Thank you to all new subscribers. There will be more videos coming. It's just a guy in his kitchen brewing random stuff. Started off with mead, well, started off with beer, moved to mead, now started doing ciders. I've got a perry in there, which is a fermented pear juice. I want to call it a cider, but it's not a cider because it's a perry, but it's the same concept. And yeah, we'll be back shortly for another video. Tomorrow I've got to do this one, which is the berry sessionable, a sessionable mead, which should be around the 6.3% mark if I remember rightly. So we're going to come back, we're going to check that tomorrow, see what we're doing with that. That's going to go into 500 ml bottles, so just a little bit bigger than these, because it's sessionable. You can have a couple of them. Yeah, brilliant. Take it easy and I'll see you soon.